Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Nina's Chelsea Corner. If you're new round here, Chelsea lost 2-0 away at St James's Park. It's a huge blow in our Champions League hopes. A very disappointing game and overall feeling quite dejected. Apologies for the late upload. I've been out and about this weekend, but I'm home now. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game and yeah, try and get through and wrap our heads around what happened today, because it was not great, and overall the result is a big blow. I can't say I expected to go there and, you know, put on a show and absolutely blow away Newcastle, but I really did think that we had a chance to at least walk away with a draw. Newcastle away is probably one of the toughest Premier League games you can have, and especially with the season they're having after the cup final, their fans are just almost on an even bigger high, and the atmospheres there can be very intimidating. A 12 o'clock kickoff at lunch as well. I had no doubt in my mind that it would be lively there. And, you know, both sets of fans equally up for this one. Such a big game for both clubs, and that just makes it all the more fiery. So I didn't think it would be an easy game, but I guess it's really easy once you come off 3 league wins in a row to have this little confidence where you can almost take on any team and expect a little something. I know that's really naive because we've dropped points to very much weaker opposition in the league, and we have really fumbled it when we had a chance to either gain an advantage on the teams we're competing with, and we are always almost like taking 1 step forward and taking 2 steps backwards after. That just seems to be the pattern of our season, and you know, it's easy to be disappointed today because actually it's not crazy that we lost 2-0 to Newcastle. It's crazy the way that things unfolded. And of course, you know, we'll address the elephant in the room because a big part of that was Nicholas Jackson's red card very early on in the game. I say early on, 35th minute was it he got sent off, but you know, even up until that point, I think we were really struggling after the 1-0, after conceding so early on. It really changed the dynamic because, you know, when you go to St James's Park, you want to be the team that scores first. Otherwise, it becomes even harder very quickly. And that's exactly what happened. They got the opener very early on, and St James's Park just changed. I think, you know, it's very easy to kind of draw out Nicholas Jackson as the sole player to blame for today's game, but actually guys, I didn't think that first half was very good at all, to be honest with you. I think that as soon as the goal went in, we almost felt this extra pressure there where we were making rash decisions. We weren't very constructive in what we were doing. Newcastle's press was really getting the better of us, and we just seemed lost in our own ways. And then we are biting my nails thinking, do they add a second here? How is this game going to go? And then, of course, Nicholas Jackson, the stupidity of that, it just still makes me angry, guys. I do feel really exhausted, and I just do feel a bit, like, it's just such a shame because that game could have, again, like I said, easily ended a draw because of the way we played in the second half. Like, I like to believe that with 11 men on the pitch, we could have potentially walked away with a point because the way we played in the second half was much better. So that, like, going a man down, you know, it almost made a difference in a sense that we became more direct, and that's also probably a testament to Eddie Howe because he definitely instructed his players to not, you know, man for man mark us as much, let us have more of the ball, and then, you know, they're dangerous on the break, so maybe hit us on transition. But I think, again, you could probably definitely see that kind of nervousness in Chelsea, where they definitely capitalised on that. You know, we get so emotional in the wrong ways in these big games, especially when you look at our away records against top sides. We do crack onto that pressure, and it seems that we can't just rise and kind of shut away that atmosphere that we get in the top kind of games. Like, honestly, like, under high pressure moments we struggle to deliver, and that is again what happened. So yeah, Jackson really did let us down, I think, but also there was a lot more that other players could have done as well in this game to at least have gotten a little something. I do think that, you know, we were unlucky at times. I think Pope had some good saves, at least a couple that I can think of off the top of my head right now. Enzo Fernandez with a really good chance. Cucurella and Reece James, again, those three stand out with probably the most threatening chances of the game, and perhaps again a shift in momentum maybe we would have seen, but guess we'll never know, guys. But yeah, when you're chasing at Newcastle away, it's yeah, it's a different gravy. So it just almost fell really flat, and then every ball that wasn't going in, I thought, great, you know, we're not going to come back into this. But you know, some might say you're lucky you didn't concede more, because Newcastle were equally in there with their own chances as well. And I thought, okay, we're on track to maybe just end, you know, this game 1-0. But, you know, we've gone down fighting in that second half, but then no. In the 90th minute, Bruno Guimaraes with a long effort, and it's in. Takes a slight deflection, but it's in. And it's 2-0, and it really is game over. I don't know why, but there was just a smidge of hope in me, guys, until that kind of late period, 70 minutes onwards, that maybe we could have scored in that and perhaps equalised, walking away with a 1-1. Don't get me wrong, I would have, any Chelsea fan, probably you, me, any Chelsea fan would have absolutely taken that 1-1 draw at the end, if that, yeah. But that's not how it went. And do you know what? Congratulations, Newcastle, because I think they definitely deserve the win today. We let ourselves down. Jackson, again, he's probably going to have a big, long, hard think. But this does stem beyond Jackson, you know, because we talk about the kind of options that we have for strikers in general. What options? You know, Nicholas Jackson from day one has been let into the club with this kind of responsibility of being number one, of delivering week in, week out. Yes, he took a slight injury, we saw him out a couple months, and you know, that obviously hindered his confidence and his growth in the season. But from day one, the problems that Jackson has had, he still does continue to have. We just back him a little bit more because he still kind of, you know, hits the G&A, at least he contributes. But again, conversion rate, still a problem. And there's a lot of things. It's not just because he got sent off today, guys. Like, we know we have bigger problems here, and now we are facing the fact that, and you know, we will talk about in a moment what's next, but we're now left with this pressure of playing perhaps a Tyreek George, a 19-year-old kid who's been having cameos here and there and been given minutes in the Conference League and been playing a little bit more in the Prem, and he just might be the one that we look to save our Champions League hopes. Can you imagine how bizarre that sounds? After all the money spent, the recruitment, George might just be the one that gets thrown, not in the deep end, literally in the ocean, very, very deep, because he, or who else is the question. I'm not too sure. Mark Yu, is he fit? Is he going to be up front? I don't know. Is Romeo Lavia going to play as a striker for us? Is Marco Correa going to play as a striker for us? Like, what is the plan? So yeah, to sort of go towards the end, because I don't think there's really that much to say about the game. Again, I said congratulations to Newcastle. I thought they were very direct, very threatening. They clearly really wanted this, and I just think, you know, from the get-go, the way they came out at us and some of the, again, the chances they had, the press, yeah, we simply just couldn't cope. So fair play, Newcastle. And yeah, so that leads us on to what next. The big question. 2 games left, guys, just 2. And yeah, if you wanted to call these last 3-4 finals, then I don't know what we need to call the next 2. They need to be called like the ultimate finales, like extra big finals, because Manchester United at home on Friday evening, followed by season finale, perhaps the biggest one, Nottingham Forest away from home the following week. So, you know, today might have not been a must win, because it may be absurd to think that you can go away to Newcastle and get 3 points, but the next 2, they are. And, you know, we're lucky that Leicester took some points off Nottingham Forest today. And again, here we are. We're relying on other teams to drop points, because we can't, we can't get points. Sorry, my mind went blank there for a moment. So yeah, so that leaves Manchester United, and oh guys, honestly, no matter how many times we come to play Man United, and no matter how badly they seem to be doing, or their form, whatever their form might be, it just never seems like an easy game for us, or a straightforward one anyway. As we've seen in recent head-to-heads, and the results, they will tell you exactly that. Never easy, never straightforward, always something, always a surprise. So can we beat Manchester United is the big question. I'd be intrigued for you guys to let me know. And of course, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, things are literally going to be decided at the death. And Chelsea, how much do you want this? How much do you want this? Because we've been up and down, left, right and centre with whether we get the Champions League spot. It just keeps seeming in far reach, then it's in close reach, then it, you know, runs away, and it's almost like we push it away. But let me know, guys, in the comments down below what you think. Can Chelsea still secure Champions League football, or is it over? Or should we just say, yeah, goodbye, it's not happening? Or are you hopeful? Are you hopeful? Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you stayed until the very end, please hit that like button, and of course subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Take care of yourselves, guys, and I will see you very, very soon.